All right, let's start. Hi, everyone, and welcome to SIG Scheduling meeting. Looks like today we don't have that many participants. Let's see if more people are going to join. All right, so let's have a quick update, or maybe not so quick update on items that we have been working on. I guess, Harry, you have some updates on the equivalence cache. So we have, as some of you guys may know, we have been working on improving equivalence cache performance and trying to move it to beta in 1.12. And I believe Harry has done a very good job. He has achieved more performance improvement by, well, I let Harry talk about the actual implementation and changes that he has made to the equivalence cache to make it more performant. Harry, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you have done?
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. So we started our work to improve the equivalent cache last week, and we changed the current design to a two-level cache, so we can avoid the global lock during the critical path of scheduling and predicate phase. So according to the test of the pull requests, the performance is pretty good. We have a much higher throughput during scheduling, and the latency has been improved a lot. And I did the test in a 1,000 nodes cluster, and it looks like the scheduling time has been hugely shortened if we enable the equivalent cache. And also I can notice the throughput has been improved by at least 2 or 3 times if we enable the equivalent cache, because there is no global log, and we can reuse the cache predicate results, so that is expected. The only problem I have is that I don't have very powerful machine to do a test like 5,000 nodes. Every time I run a 5,000 nodes test, the test will time out because my machine is too small. So if anybody have a powerful machine, especially a physical machine, to run that, to test that patch, please let me know. I will let you know what configuration you need to do to reproduce the test results. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Harry. So I have a powerful machine. I can do that for you. But the one other thing that you can do since those benchmarks are essentially an integration test, you can change the timeouts for integration tests. There is an environment variable or maybe there is a flag. I think there is an environment variable that you can change. I don't have that in mind right now, but if you look at those scripts or make files, you will find it. There is one environment variable that allows you to change the timeout. Anyhow, I will be happy to help you out with that. But it's very impressive that you've been able to achieve about 3x performance improvement. Of course, the benchmarks are not necessarily the same as like real world scenarios. The benchmarks create a lot of pods which have similar spec. So essentially, in terms of equivalence, all of those are equivalent to one another. And as a result, you will see probably a lot higher performance improvement compared to a case where a lot of pods from different kinds of replica sets or with a lot of pods with different spec are created in a cluster. But still, it's impressive to see 3x performance improvement. Maybe in real world scenarios, it's not as large, but even like 2x or 1.5x is pretty impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will check the configuration. Maybe it's hard coded or something. I will check that first.
Yeah, sounds good. One other item which is kind of related to you, Harry, is the image locality. So that the priority function, I reviewed it actually today, and I LGTM'd it. It looks like we are closer to have it merged. If you have any further updates, please share with us. Other people, if you have questions or comments about that, you can say as well. So, Harry, do you have any further updates on that image locality?
Yeah, actually, I have a mentor Shiver all the way on this pull request. So I think the current proposal and patch looks generally good. So maybe just some needs to fix. I will left a final review comment on their pull request, and I'm very appreciate Bobby's job to improve the algorithm. It's awesome.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you very much. So one more thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that Klaus is actually on a vacation, so he was not able to attend. We would like to hear something about like gang scheduling and how that is going forward. I don't have much update on that side. He's also working on moving daemon set, basically moving daemon set scheduling to default scheduler for 1.12. That is in progress as well, but I don't have much updates to share with you. Hopefully next time that Klaus is here, he can share more information about those. With respect to other items that we have been working on, Ravi, you may have some updates about the scheduler, basically. Do you have any further updates on the scheduler and how it's going?
Yeah, so I tried to add a strategy to descheduler similar to rescheduler, so that once we retire descheduler could be used in its place, at least for some time, before the daemon set controller graduates, like scheduling daemon set pods graduates to beta. That's Avesh is reviewing it. So that's the state of descheduler as of now. Bobby, I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you. I'm not sure if it's
something must be wrong.
Sorry, no, I was on mute. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know. Anyway, I was saying that one other item that we have been working on is pod scheduling policies. So pod scheduling policy is a set of policies that allows an admin to basically restrict certain scheduling policies of pods. So today in Kubernetes, someone, let's say a malicious user that has access to a cluster, can go and set some anti-affinity, let's say, to his or her own pods to prevent any other person or any other pod from being scheduled in the same zone. It's not that hard to do. Similarly, someone can set anti-affinity to prevent other pods from getting scheduled on the same node and so on. So this could basically cause disruption in the cluster. Similarly, no particular policy prevents users from setting any tolerations that they like on their pods. So for example, we have created taints and tolerations to allow some scenarios. One of them is, for example, tainting some of the nodes with the special hardware with a particular taint so that pods that don't need the special hardware don't land on those nodes. For example, if I have a node which has a particular type of GPU or generally it has GPU, I don't want other pods which don't need the GPU to land on that node. I can go and taint that node with the particular taint, and then add the toleration only to the pods that really require GPU. But there is no way to prevent other users from adding the same toleration to other pods. So we are working on this pod scheduling policies to basically let an admin to set some of these policies for to let some users to have these kind of tolerations or anti-affinity and so on for their pods, and not letting everybody to have them. That is going on. So mostly it's now our security and policy team working on that, but we are also involved in the design. And if you guys have any comments, you can go and share your comments on concerns in the design document. Yasin is mostly working on that. I heard from him today that he has been in touch with the policy, I believe, and he is going to update the PR, and we can hopefully finalize it soon. These, I guess, are all the items that I wanted to tell you about. I guess last week we talked about the fact that we are restricting some of these priority, like system critical priorities to Kube system namespace for now, and that is already done. If you have any other questions, comments, please share them with us now.
So I have a couple related to the equivalence cache. For the 5K pod test that I have basically requested, I can help as well, as Bobby told, like I can help as well. And the other thing is I usually run it on an 8-core machine, and it works fine most of the times. Like the test runs fine most of the times. And it's a yeah, I can help in that area in case.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. One thing that we can do is probably, I mean, we don't need Harry to give us much directions. We probably can check out the master, the head of master, and run the 5,000 node benchmark, and then apply the patch that Harry has been working on, and try it again and see the amount of performance improvement. So any of us can do that. Ravi, if you have the time, I appreciate it if you go ahead and run the test and maybe update the PR with your finding.
Sure. The other thing is related to image locality. I did not review that yet. So that's something that I would like to review before it gets merged, if that is fine.
Yeah, actually, sure. Please go ahead and take a look as soon as possible, because I guess I LGTM'd it and it could merge anytime. So if you have any concerns, please go ahead and review it as soon as you can.
Sure.
Or I can cancel the LGTM if you think you must read it before we merge it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not that it's just that I want to go through it before, because Avesh and Tim has some concerns previously.
Yes. So the main concern, as far as I can tell, was that once an image exists on a node, we don't want to always prefer that node over everything else. And we don't want to basically make that node a very hot node while the rest of the nodes in the cluster don't get any pods or pods of the same replica set, for example.
Right. And we wanted to change the weight, like we want to arrive at the value of weight for the priority,
right,
which is good enough so that the distribution won't be lumpy, if I remember.
Yes. So the new formula that we've been using makes it a little bit more distributed. Of course, it's still prefer that machine, but given the new formula and given that we are combining the priority with other priorities, for example, and in particular distribution priority, or basically least used priority, given that we are combining them with those, I believe that with this new priority function, that concern goes away to an extent.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. But still, go ahead and take a look.
Sure, yeah. The third point that I wanted to talk about is the scope selectors, the things that we have used for priority classes, restriction for quota, and which is in alpha again, which we would like to graduate to beta in 1.12. So Vikas is working on it, and he is going to create PRs next week for them so that they can graduate to beta.
Sounds great. Yeah, that's something we definitely want to do for 1.12. It's gonna solve major problems, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for the update. Is there any other questions or comments? If not, we can cut this meeting short. and you will get another 13 minutes or so back. So going once, twice. All right. Thank you everyone for attending, and see you guys next week.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.